More and more recently, you've been hearing about data centers, which is interesting, right? Because, like, say prior to a month ago, data centers probably weren't in your vocabulary whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, you're inundated with information from a lot of different parties about why exactly you need data centers, why data centers are going to be the future for you, etc. Um, they are here trying to bilk your goods up front. That's the bottom line, right? So in this video, I'm going to break down why exactly you're hearing about data centers, who exactly is spreading it, why they're spreading it, and why you should not be buying into the data center hype overall. So with that being said, the very first question is so when we look at AI from a pure economics standpoint, right? I mean from it's a pure gold mine economically, etc. Right? And we have that mindset. We have the Jeff Bezos mindset. So our question that we ask up front is what is it that AI does differently than the internet? And then at this point, this isn't a unique concept, right? Like Jeff Bezos in 1994, this was unique, but now we're in 2025, 30 years later, this is the standard playbook. Everyone is operating off of the same playbook, and everyone knows. So Amazon, Facebook, OpenAI, Microsoft, etc., like all these big corporations, all of a sudden they're going hard on data centers. Like they've all coalesced. Like all of these big companies all of a sudden have coalesced on this one conclusion that data centers is the answer to everything, that data centers is the golden way forward here. So that should be tripping alarm bells. Look at who is telling you this, right? I mean, I don't have to say anything more than I think in these pictures. So let's go here. What is the ultimate investment for a billionaire? The ultimate investment for a billionaire is flat out vertical integration. And vertical integration is a very straightforward concept. It's a strategy that allows a company to streamline its operations by taking direct ownership of various stages of its production or your production process rather than relying on external contractors or suppliers. And so what is going on within this is that these companies, these guys, what is it that AI does differently than the internet? It allows for vertical integration from these guys into your company via data centers. That's the bottom line, right? So your data is the fruit in this equation. Essentially, this is horizontal versus vertical integration. And then so if you had like a horizontal monopoly, if you're the fruit farmer, you own every single fruit farm. And then a couple hundred years ago, companies figured out that's bad, right? Because about 50 years ago, they found out it's real bad because you get broken apart, and so you don't do horizontal monopolies. But no company has yet in existence been broken apart for vertical monopolies, and we see more and more and more of them. Amazon, Disney, I mean, Apple. These companies have flat out vertical monopolies. That's what they are. That's what they operate under. That's what they do. That's their motive here, and that's their clear motive within this, right? They are the fruit juice manufacturer. That's the data center within this, right? So they want to squeeze and make sure that fruit juice manufacturing, they have that vertical monopoly. They control fruit juice. They're inside of that vertical monopoly because that's their playbook, right? They know about vertical integration. Boom. They're in the fruit juice manufacturing business. So, but why data centers, right? Like why do they want to be the fruit juice manufacturer? And this equation is very straightforward. Taking a step further, and so all of this has been like kind of like more technical, but let's take it a step further into like a business management and business processes, and let's talk about mergers and acquisitions, right? And then this is the number one piece of this equation here. Like this is honestly what fuels it all, is that the entire world already knows your weakness flat out. So this is big data center companies in the world, right, worldwide, and let's look at them. I mean, they're the biggest players in the world, right? And they're also the ones that are backing this data center concept. Why? But so within this, they understand your weakness within the equation, which is that you as a business owner don't know how to utilize your data properly. You are garbage at utilizing your own data. And no matter what the business is, like, I mean, I've been into Fortune 500s. You're garbage at handling your own data. You have data silos all over the place. Like, you can't even integrate your CRM to your ERP. Like, you have data problems all over the place, right? And then so your biggest disadvantage as a company, as any company, is this. And then they all know this, right? And then so they're inserting themselves directly into that problem. They're externalizing that problem for you, which sounds magnificent, right? Like, okay, they're taking the golden problem away from you. But then so here's, so what? So here's 2 to 3 years from then, right? And then here's like, I mean, what every, it doesn't take a genius to understand this. It takes someone that, so like, I mean, my background is like 20 plus years of IT, right? But within that, I've worked in sales enablement, I've worked in director roles, executive roles, etc. You don't put a person in a room and then they just sit in the room and they don't learn anything overall, right? I have, at this point, I can tell you merger and acquisition strategy backwards and forwards. I've been through it, I've understood, I've been through hundreds of mergers and acquisitions at this point. It's a very simple process, right? You start off by hunting the target company, then you study the business of the company to be purchased, then you study the market that should be undertaken, you do a study of the market, you get consent of both companies sometimes, then you get approval of the shareholders, promoters of both companies, and then you go through the acquisition. And then the acquisition process is very straightforward. It's a very simple calculation when you're in an industry that is heavily dependent on mergers and acquisitions. You break it down to one simple equation, which is I buy this company for X amount of dollars, and it takes me Y amount of months for that to turn into profit. And then you have an industry standard for that. Let's say that I spend $50 million as X on the company Z, and then my expectation is that I can turn around that investment and make that investment profitable Y within 24 months, whereas the industry standard for that is 40 months, which gives me a significant leeway, 20 minus 24, right? I have huge play within that, like that other people don't. I have a uniqueness, a unique advantage. My unique advantage is that I'm able to take that company's assets, their own assets, and perform and operate better with those assets, better than anyone else who would acquire those assets. It's a unique advantage, and it's when you're dealing with mergers and acquisitions, it's how you grow, right? And you very specifically play that equation and you pull that lever. You understand that lever going in. Like before you invest a dollar, you have it planned out. It's our profit strategy is X. If anyone else bought it, they were Y, which means that we can bid up to Z to the dollar. Like, and that's literally what it is, right? Like, up front, we're going to pay Z for this corporation. If it goes to Z plus $1, we walk away. Like, we stand up and we get out. Like, if it goes Z minus 1, we're in there bidding hard right up until that point. And that's pretty much the process, right? It's very black or white. It's a simplistic process. And then so kind of the bottom line within this is the equation that you need to ask yourself within this is, so if you understand all of this, right, and Amazon this is their strategy. So you have to ask yourself this question: do you think that you can do this better than Amazon? Answer is no. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter what company you are, right? But especially if you're giving them your data. like you're giving them access to build, to understand, to build out this pipeline before they without investing a dollar, before ever competing against you. Like, you're giving them like the golden goose. Essentially, your data is the 21st century Trojan horse within this equation. All of these companies, the reason that they're banking hard and they're going all in, data centers are the future. Please invest in data centers. They're literally rolling out Trojan horses for you to go out and for you to go into. I am very bearish on data centers. Listen to who exactly is pitching you data centers within this equation. And it's literally, I mean, just look at it. Like it's from a certain group and it's amplified, right? And that voice gets amplified, but you don't hear this as a broad discussion. It's not a broad thing within the AI community that you need data centers. It's not a worldwide thing within the AI community that you need data centers. It's a very small message that's being amplified by people, and that should alarm you right there and raise alarm bells. And that's exactly why you're hearing about data centers all of a sudden, and why the very last thing that you should be doing at this moment is investing in data centers. Invest in your own data. Everyone up front understands this problem. Everyone understands that this is your weakness. I understand it. You understand it. You want to fix the problem. You want to actually do something about it. Here it is. Like, it's hard. Like, there's a reason why it's your problem, right? Like, I don't want to do it. Like, the last project that I honestly want to take on from a company is like, hey, we have mountains and piles of garbage data and we need to sift through it and sort it out for us. Like, there's not a person on this planet that wants to take on that project. But I mean, that's why we're here with all of this, right? So if you want the answer, there it is. Very simple. It's market economics, right? Like, it's all simple equations. Like, it's not like, these aren't like rocket science. But so it's, here it is. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.